while we're waiting for the rod tips to go, just coming down to low water now, so we're going to be fishing the flood. Fingers crossed we can pick something up. Not the best of tides, but we're out and having a go. So boys, first ever small-eyed ray, do you remember it?
First ever?
Yeah.
No.
You can't remember it?
No.
Will?
Yeah, I can. It's one of my best ever fishing nights I've ever had, actually.
Yeah?
It's with local legends. Name drop, but Rob York took me out and got me first set of rays the night we went out. Took us over to the Bristol Channel mark, and I think we had small-eyeds, blondes, spotteds, obviously the dogs, but we had cold bass, conger, smooth and had tope all in one night. But that was the first night I ever had small-eyeds, and I had 2 of them. Took me about a year and a half to get my first one. I was out like every night burning the can at both ends, but once I got one, they come like buses, mate.
I remember
they
fishing years ago when me and my mate Gavin at the time, we were fishing down in Plymouth, and both of us were ray mad. We both wanted a ray, and he comes along, this man here, I don't know if you remember this, his memory's not very good, but we went and fished the Tamar Bridge, and we're all fishing. He put a prawn, he had some prawn with him, he chucked a prawn bait out, and he had a prawn back about 4 or 5 pounds. And we were both gutted. I've been fishing there for ages. He come along and done it.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, I remember. But for small-eyed ray, my first small-eyed come off of Bristol Channel low water mark, and everybody else was catching them. I couldn't catch one. I was doing my head in, and then I went there one night, and I think I had a 4.5, and then I had a 5.5 the same night, and loads of smaller butterflies. Yeah. I think like Will was talking the other day, when we were about you getting a double.
Getting a double, yeah. And, it took me 3.5 years
we never seen it on camera.
Double small-eyed.
But that night we went up and had the turbot and that. I was excited, obviously, and I wanted to get back and do the editing. And we did plan to fish a high water mark on the Dorset coast. And we got down there and we seen 2 other anglers walk back and said they didn't do no good. But it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. All of us were knackered, and I said I'm going to shoot home now. Well, these lads stuck it out.
Come on, tell it right. You were scared of a little bit of wind and you was too cold.
I did. You blame the wind for it.
I was a little bit as well. Just before Will goes on, I was a little bit as well.
568% fish. It's time to go home, and it's like you ain't gonna beat it. Let's just go on home. But I stuck to my guns.
You done the plan.
I was adamant. I was gonna stick to my plan.
Produce the goods within half an hour of being there. £10.
That's through competition fishing. Has taught me that. £10
£10.
But that's through competition fishing has led me to that. It's once you got a plan, stick with it. Don't ever deviate from your plan. At least you know if you stick to your guns, you stick to your plan. Yeah. If it doesn't work out, you know what ties it was, you know where you went, you know what you planned to do. So you can record and log all that information, and it'll always lead to better captures in the future.
That is a big thing. What you just said there is recording your trips. That's the way you obviously get the knowledge of fishing marks. Because you could go to a mark where you've been told to fish, and I've done it to people before, and give them a mark on the Southcombe coast to go for small-eyed thornbacks, mixed species. Not the biggest size in venues, but it throws up ray. And they've gone down there, and I mean, we were talking the other day about this, and he said about it, and they come back and say, oh, I never had one. You've got to go and go and go and go, and you've got to hit it.
They don't see the hours that go in, do they?
And no, they don't. And it's a lot to do with conditions as well. Like some marks won't fish in calm conditions. You need to be rough conditions. But then obviously you've got the danger side of that as well. And going out to these venues, you want to be getting down there in calm, big spring tides, looking at the ground in front of you and working out. And you can most of the time you can read the water. Now, if we look around to the bay where we're fishing at the moment, as the tide's coming in, you'll see it as the swell starts to hit and it starts to break. You know there's going to be there's little reefs and rocks and different things under what's breaking up the water. It's things like that you've got to be looking at, which are going to hold food and catch you the fish you're after. It's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I can't reiterate that enough. Looking at your quarry and where they're going to be, and actually putting some thought into it instead of just turning up.
Yeah.
It will lead you to a lot more success.
Yeah.
It's like you were just saying then, I'll put up a couple of pictures of a ray, I'll get a message on Facebook or from an old friend, where did you have them, Will? Alright, I'll tell you, but don't go telling everyone. You tell them where you had them, they go down there, they catch dogfish or they don't catch that night any rays, and oh, you've told me a duff mark, you're lying to me, I'd rather you not tell me the mark, like tell me where, instead of lying to me. And it's not that I've lied to them. It's like you haven't seen the hours that have gone in before it. I might have been there 2 or 3 nights or 4 nights, or I might have been fishing it for a month and been out there like 2 or 3 nights a week for a month.
With what we're doing,
and then it happens,
filming and that, is people get to see how much time goes in, and a lot of these anglers are like that, and putting all these time in, and you won't see the blank trips, you'll see the photos. But
I was about to say, it's a good thing you're doing, and you are recording a lot of the blank trips in the trips where you just catch dogs, and people say, well, that's not interesting, but that's fishing, and people think you're going to tell them a good mark, and they're guaranteed to go there and catch a ray straight away, and and that's just not the case.
Times of the year, especially if it's. I've got a book at home and I've been writing on it since I can remember now. And I put down blank sessions. I always put the wind direction, the moon phase, the state of the tide, the
water pressures,
everything. Everything.
We were told that many years ago.
Time of day, night.
Steve
Gregory. Yeah, he's called it the Bible.
He's logs all his Bibles. I did try it for a little while, but see the thing with me, I certain things in my memory I can't remember, and it's real weird, you know, birthdays, all that sort of stuff. Fishing marks, I'll always remember how to tie a rig and cast a lead.
As well.
But I did start writing in a little book, and then I put it away somewhere. I forgot where I put it, and that's honestly, I can't find it.
I can remember him saying that to us.
I was
Steve, when we were fishing about he used to call it the Bible, didn't he?
Yeah, we were.
And you look in the Bible, a lot of like the older the anglers do, and you see some of the fish they've had out over the years, and these are the guys that have been doing it for years now, and the knowledge they have on fishing and the fish they've produced over the years is outstanding. And especially now we're in our 30s, us lads now, and we've still got. It's a good thing about sea angling.
Early.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit of a broken man. I took a year out last year, didn't I?
Yeah.
And my home from home, my fishing shed, has got a leak in the roof. Lo and behold, what's on the top shelf of where it's leaking?
His Bible's got
my
wet.
Bible. It's absolutely ruined. It's all stuck together. All the inks.
It's knowledge like that, especially.
And it's stuff you cannot replace. I mean, I've got a couple of pages I've managed to get out of it, but
I've got
if you can't store it up here, you're absolutely stuffed.
And I've got them marked down when I've had fish and different things.
He's looking for donations for a new roof, so you can just send payments to Jedi Will Ansari.
But like you said, it is that is the key. We know from the fishing we've done in the past where these fish are going to be throughout the year, where the area is going to be. Not guaranteed to get them, but half the time you see the hours we put into this. It's a lot of hours, and we're by far not the best anglers in the world. What we're doing is promoting fishing. We're exactly the same as most of you, just normal anglers who are going out putting time in trying to get the rewards, which we do from time to time, which I would like to get a lot more of. But at the end of the day, it's a good thing about the sport. Everybody's forever
learning. But let's be honest, Dan,
we
love the game so much. We just sometimes it's just to get out in it, and we're chancing it when. Oh no, I mean, like there's a couple of older local lads, whereas they're not so keen to get out like they used to be when they was younger. But they've done their own work, and they know when to turn up and when to show up on a mark. And it proves. I mean, I'll see a lot of lads who'll turn up and fish a mark for a week solid, and not saying they don't put the effort and the hours in, but they don't know when to turn up. Whereas you can see an older like legend turn up and within 4 hours know the week, know the tide, know the state of the tide, what the size of the tide is, what the moon phase is, what the water pressure is, the colour in the water, the temperatures, everything, the time of year, that month, what bait to use, what they're going to be targeting, and then they'll go out and smash it.
It's a lot to use,
and it really does have a big impact on the fishing, doesn't it?
I
mean, you know, I remember years ago, let's just go there and fish. Look, if someone had one there last week, we'll have one there again tonight. Well, it's not. No. Those fish are off in the deeper water, so they're off in pits, or they'll sit dormant and they won't feed. And it's only on that certain night, that one night, you know, even when they're coming into person and go back out again, that one night or that 2 nights of that tide, and they'll come in and have it, and that's the only time you'll get them, and then they'll shift back off or go dormant again.
We proved it the other night. What he's just saying there is we went out and we all caught PBs, and then we went back to the same place the night after.
Nothing.
And we had nothing.
It's 2 small rays in the morning, a place, and dogged out completely.
It's no 2 tides are ever the same, and once those fish have been out of the water, they're not likely to hang around. They're more likely to swim back off. Although I have known a few people that catch the same fish twice, but it doesn't happen very often.
Venues on the Dorset coastline where, as it's building up to springs, you'll get a lot of numbers of small lides, and then as it starts to peak off, those last couple of times are the times to hit it for the big ones, and that is the time to hit them for the big ones. But a lot of areas around the southwest are totally different, where the smaller tide. It depends on the like Bristol Channel. A lot of the marks are big spring tide marks, where because you get out further and you can't fish them on the smaller tides, but some of the time you can fish on the smaller times, and that's the time to hit them because of the tide flow. Because obviously on a big spring tide, the tide flow.
Well, some of the reef marks are a little bit better on
I don't know if any of you remember.
You don't lose so much gear. And
me and Will and Lee Treby did a VAS waders test, and we went down to Mark on the Bristol Channel, and we literally waded and rock hopped for about over an hour to get to this venue.
No, Andy, it was about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was probably a lot longer than that.
About 2.5 hours it was, yeah.
And then we were looking at it at the time, and I was looking up the cliff, and I thought, we're going to come back here. And with the mark we were fishing, we were literally casting off straight away, and we were hitting this drop off. But because it was a big tide, the weights, 200 gram leads, were just swinging right back around. So I thought to myself at the time, we need to come and fish this in a smaller time. So me and my mate Eddie here, we went back with the ropes, went down the cliff from the bottom, and how high was the edge you looked up?
It was 1,080 feet.
1,080 foot. It took us just over half an hour to get down to the bottom. Complete vertical abseil the last bit for about 200 foot. And we got down to the bottom, set up, and when we were there, we actually seen, it looked like it was towed, didn't it? Into the bay.
Off to the left, yeah.
Into the bay.
Yeah.
And we were fishing sandy.
It was definitely 2 sharks.
Yeah.
Whether it was taupe or well, I'm not sure what there, to be honest, but it was definitely sharks.
I would have said,
and they were in the shallower water in the bay, and they were on the surface.
On that coastline, it was more likely to be taupe. It does have taupe around there in that area, so.
But the drop off was that deep. Every time we're trying to bring the fish up over, it was just constant pressure all the time, and it was just getting them up over more than anything. We only had dogfish when we were down. I think we had a bullets as well. But like that, we could go back down again. That put us off because it took us 2 hours to get from the bottom to the top of the cliff. I got to the top and just fell down, collapsed, and went to sleep, waiting for him to get back up. But I think it was the last time we went fishing that year, wasn't it?
Top tip, so what's
I think we went carp fishing a little bit after
done a little bit of carp fishing after that.
But in saying that spot, we will be trying it again this year, and we'll put a bit of time into that.
What you notice is when you're fishing up on this low water venue where we were, you can look to the right of where you normally fish, and you can see the boats from Minehead come in, and they're fishing that close to shore. And the reason they're fishing that drop-off, the bank of that drop-off. Yeah, exactly. They're fishing for the big blondes, the big small.
You could put a lead through the wheelhouse if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.